What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as always, as the days go by, Activision continuously makes himself look more and more desperate with Black Ops 7. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. But of course, I mean, it all makes sense, you know? The position that they're in, they don't really have any other options besides doing exactly what they're going to go ahead and do. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, before going dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and also a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything between COD, Splitgate, Battlefield, Arc Raiders, Gears of War, pretty much anything that sparks my interest, you best believe you'll hear it on this channel. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, go link the channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I saw a post by the Ghost of Hope over on Twitter, and let me tell you guys something. As I stated before, it just doesn't even shock me anymore, but it says, exclusive. Sources have indicated to me that Black Ops 7 will have more content in its post-launch seasons than what Modern Warfare 3 had. The current plan, according to sources, is for Black Ops 7 to have a lot of content in Season 1 through 4, and then taper off to give Activision time to push Modern Warfare 4 marketing very hard. Treyarch earlier this year had pulled some of the planned BO6 post-launch content and has pushed it to Black Ops 7 so they can repurpose/reskin. Treyarch and Raven, etc., are being told to leave nothing on the table for Black Ops 7 and Warzone, because the engine upgrade for Modern Warfare 4, which has been told to me to be very significant, would require those assets to be heavily reworked. Finish everything and release it before Modern Warfare 4 is the current agenda at Treyarch and other studios. Guys, this is just absolutely hilarious to me, and honestly, I'm loving every last second of it, because seriously, Activision needs to be on their toes right now. They need to be scurrying around trying to make sure people are coming back to the overall franchise, because obviously they've been screwing us year after year after year. The sad thing about it too, what's really sad about this? Everybody's still going to play it. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We are all talking the talk, but I feel like over half the people out there are still going to go ahead. Regardless, they're going to download on Game Pass, they're going to purchase it, through the store. No matter what, they're going to add statistics to Activision's charts. And I guarantee Activision is still going to come out there and say, oh, we still hit a concurrent player of this. And, we still have our microtransaction sales of this. And they're going to make absolute bank and still be able to showcase off a ton of good numbers, which is sad. I really wish that the COD community could take a true stand. But at the end of the day, that's just not how things work, sadly. But regardless, it's still absolutely hilarious to see them scurrying around here trying to put together content for Black Ops 7 to find any reason at all, to get people to buy a second Black Ops title in the row. And I gotta be honest with you guys, it's really insulting as well, because they went ahead and stripped content from Modern Warfare 3 just to go ahead and help Black Ops 6 thrive, right? Modern Warfare 3 had a phenomenal post-launch, content drop. They were doing a great job stuffing the game with content, and it could have kept going, but that had to slow down. And as we got to the final seasons of Modern Warfare 3, we started to get less and less and less. And it actually came out that Activision made them scrap a bunch of the content that was planned for Modern Warfare 3 just to go ahead and put it within Black Ops 6. And what hurts the most is that they did all of that just for Black Ops 6 to have the most bare bone amount of content, barely anything going on. And then they have the nerve on a game that is already bare bone that had to literally go on life support and, steal content from Modern Warfare 3 just to, get any relevance. Now they're stripping content from that game. A game that already doesn't have anything. I mean, Black Ops 6 literally needs as much as it could possibly get to, bring people back into the overall experience and get people excited. And they're not. They're done. They're absolutely done with it. And, as I stated, it's insulting not just because they stripped from Modern Warfare 3 for a project that they gave zero craps about, but it's also insulting because of exactly that. They gave no craps about it. This is why I hate Activision, and one of the main reasons why I don't even want to cough up money for Black Ops 7. I know over half of the community is going to get finessed by this. And I know over half the people are going to say, oh, this game is packed with content, and I should go ahead and buy on in. And honestly, I was the same way. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to go ahead and invest a lot of time into Modern Warfare 3. But once you start seeing the bigger picture of how Activision is handling things, it sucks. You could tell they cannot perform on a year-to-year release cycle. Doesn't matter how many years these guys have behind the scenes, because I know it's not like they drop one and develop one in a singular year, right? They at least get 3+ years to go ahead and develop these games. But that is clearly not enough time for them to actually give us a full-fledged out product every single time around. It just simply is not. And that's exactly why we have such wonky release cycles, where some games are, packed and other games are absolutely nude and have no content involved. We can't have any consistency within Call of Duty because of this exact reason. And also, it's because of the community. We keep getting finessed. Anytime Activision runs into the crapper and they have to go to the emergency zone, they do exactly what they're doing now. right? They say, okay, you know what? Everybody's going to consider this game DLC. We have no trust with our community anymore. You know what we should do? We should start, doing a few things here and there to get everybody excited again. Stuff with content. Give them everything they've been asking for. I even been hearing rumors of, removing disbanding lobbies. But again, what is that going to resolve, guys? We still have skill-based matchmaking in place. We still have the worst servers known to mankind. Based off of a game, a franchise that is worth billions of dollars. We still can't upgrade our servers. I mean, every other game in the world has better servers than Call of Duty at this current moment. One of the worst anti-cheats I've ever witnessed still to this very current date. But disbanding lobbies is going to be good enough. I guarantee it. It's going to bring people back into the overall game. I bet you people are going to fold the second that is announced, if, of course, it is announced. But as I was stating, this is exactly our problem here. They know how to pull everybody back in. They know how to finesse everybody and get them excited and then, pull them right back into the loop. And again, this isn't going to be consistent, right? They're going to do it for this year, but that's not going to guarantee the next year and the year after that and the year after that one. It's not. I guarantee the second that they have the freedom again to run a monopoly on this scene, and there's not many FPS games out, and not much competition, they will go right back to doing exactly what they do best. Do people really genuinely think that Activision is going to drop all the wild cosmetics that make them billions of dollars? Do people really think that they're going to go ahead and revamp the matchmaking system that they claim is so outstanding that they chose to ignore the community about for ages? I don't think so. I don't. They can, of course, prove me wrong, and when they do prove me wrong, I'm going to be here. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that moment where they do prove me wrong, where they can come back and give us multiple different titles back to back to back with consistent content, good feedback, actual communication, real changes. If they can go ahead and do that, then that's phenomenal, right? I mean, we're in it. But I don't think the community should get finessed over something like this. It's sad because I know people will. And it's weird, too, because I was actually watching a video by Gilmore, and I was cracking up because it's the truth. It's hilarious, and, the Ghost of Hope has a lot of good information, but it's really funny how a lot of these guys word things when it comes to a post like this. It's almost like marketing, and we know it's not marketing, but every single thing that leaves any leaker's mouths about Call of Duty is always supposed to be hyper positive, right? It's always to try to encourage people to come back in saying, oh, this isn't looking too bad. Things are actually going to be turning out pretty nice. Activision's finally listening, so on and so forth. But then for another game like Battlefield, for example, he came out and said, don't trust any of the content creators going and talking about Battlefield. They're all fake. You can't believe anything that's going on right now. They're all getting paid big bucks. But Gilmore made a very good point. Aren't the Call of Duty players, getting the same thing? Aren't they getting paid big bucks to come and play the game and talk good about the game and, hype up the game and get everybody excited again? You see, my point here is that we all know Call of Duty is in a rough spot, and we need the community as a whole to stand together and actually get meaningful change and try to put our foot down. But we can't because of stuff exactly like this, and we even have good competition. Battlefield 6 is good competition. We should be doing everything in our power to try to bring more excitement to that game, to actually bring, a competitor to the FPS scene, to make Call of Duty shake things up. But instead of encouraging that, we're saying that don't trust any of the content creators who are talking about Battlefield 6. Don't believe any of the, this stuff. You have no clue what it's going to be like. It could be bad. And then over with Call of Duty, it's positive, 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 positive. It should be the opposite right now. We should be trying to make Call of Duty, step back, reevaluate how they're handling things, and then come back into the scene better than ever. But how can we do that if we keep pushing down competition and bringing up Call of Duty to allow them to do the same exact abusive practices? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you off with one last thing I want to say here. Keep in mind, Activision said that they want them to shove in content within Black Ops 7 because of the fact that, we're getting a brand new engine upgrade with Modern Warfare 4, which is going to be coming out, the year after. And pretty much all the content is going to become irrelevant because it won't be able to be handled correctly with the new engine. It's going to be a lot of problems. It probably just won't port nicely. So the idea is to just, get all the content out there, to shove it into Black Ops 7. So when Modern Warfare 4 drops, we can start on a clean slate. My question is, with that mentality, doesn't that just mean they don't care? They're not doing this because they want the fans to be happy. They're not doing this because they want to consistently add content into the game and release every Call of Duty game with a nice amount of content when it comes to maps, weapons, aftermarket parts, event camos that are free. They're not doing it because they want to, improve the relationship with their community. They're doing it because they know it's going to all turn to trash soon. So if it's going to turn to trash soon, just shove it into the game, right? That is Activision's current mentality with this. So as good as this is worded, and as excited as some people are probably going to be, I want you guys to keep that in mind. Is this going to carry over? Probably not. I guarantee with Modern Warfare 4, they're going to go right back to the same exact practices. that they have been always doing, and the content that you see within Black Ops 7 and also Modern Warfare 3 will never be seen again. It's just a tiny little blip on the radar, and it's a coincidence, right? A new engine means they can't transfer it over, so guess what? That's why we're getting a ton of content. It just is what it is, man. That is the reality of how things are panning out right now within the Call of Duty world. But ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Of course, I'm not going to ramble your guys' ears off anymore. If you guys did enjoy today's video, though, make sure you leave a like, and if you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. It posts twice here, once at 8 a.m. and also a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And we cover pretty much any first-person or even third-person shooter that really sparks my interest. So, as I stated, subscribe and hit that bell so you stay notified on everything. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, go link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.